Okay, real simple. I just have a ridge line going to 2 trees. And I just tie 2 half hitches from the peak. Okay, so it's a 9x12 tarp laid out, 12 feet wide, 9 feet deep. All I did was go to the halfway point and put a tie off, put a rock, and that's my peak. Then on each corner I tied a rock for another staking point. What I did though is I didn't go right to the corner. I stopped a little early. That gives me a couple inches. So this is staked out to reach the ground underneath, and just put a little draft seal underneath, because if it's all the way to the edge, you know, the wind can get underneath. That way there's a little bit of gap around for the top to reach the ground like that. So underneath just gives a little bit of a seal. So the back wall, all that is about halfway is the middle point, and halfway in between the middle point and the back wall I put stakes as well. That's my back wall, my true back wall. That's all the overlap that I put underneath. Okay, so all I did was find the middle in front right there, put a rock, corner, put a rock. I found the middle point widthwise, put a rock. Found the middle point widthwise between the middle and the side, put a rock. See that? And then all I did was do that for the sides on both sides. Right there, so there's a rock in the middle there. In the middle, in the middle. See? So it creates a line like this, and then it goes out. So it's not a full square, it's not like a tight square, there isn't like 90 degrees. I actually have it go out. That's why my side walls, I have so much room. I have it go out to the middle point between the middle and the edge. Okay, so here's the middle line. There's my rock in between the middle and the edge. There's my side, my back corner. There's my other back corner. There's my next one in between the edge and the middle. I do that on both sides. Right there, in between both. And then that just continues. There's one more in between the edge and that point right there. And those in-betweens, that's what I use to do the side walls. So it's pretty simple. It might seem complicated, but it really isn't. You know, you just find the corners, you put a rock, or tie out on your 9x12 tarp. Use the corners, use the middle, and then you do the middle between the middle on this edge, and that's my halfway for my door, right? Because the peak goes up halfway, which is right here. There's a tie out. Then it keeps going. There's a tie out. See, right here. That's where that one is. Right there, halfway. There's a tie out. So the door comes. There's a halfway door. I put a middle there in the back to push the back wall. There's my back wall stake, my floor. There's my corner. There's my other corner, you know, and that's just halfway in between the middle and the edge. You know, very, very simple. All I did was find halves. That's all I did. And I used the halves as my back wall. And that gave me all this this extra fabric to fold underneath. All that to fold underneath. All that to fold underneath. Which gives me a nice ground cloth on the inside. Yep, so you're just going to have to tweak with the locations to get it just right. But here's a nice cool bonus, I gotta say. I'm rolling up my blanket on the inside of it. So the canvas is going to protect my blanket, which is rolled up inside of it. from the weather, from rain, from moisture, all of that. That way my bed, which is my blanket, will be nice and dry. I don't got to worry about getting to my camp, walking in the rain, and having a wet bed. Pull the end. Good to go. Alright, that's been Mr. Native Survival. Thanks for joining me tonight as we set up the canvas tarp teepee for the first time. Check it out, you know, start the experiment. I'm really happy with the way it's turned out so far. Again, I just have a 9x12 canvas tarp. And because I was experimenting, I didn't buy a really nice tarp and all that. I just grabbed a 9x12 untreated canvas tarp that's used for painters. So there's no tie-outs, nothing like that. Not a big deal. I just used rocks and just tied them in specific places. So now that I know that it's worth my time, because it is a good shelter, I'm going to work on modifying and improving the tarp from this point on. Appreciate your views, your comments, your support. See you in the next one. Take care.